right here to see my old friend John. Can you tell me where he's gone?
Hello, my name is Giselle Casarrubias. Today is November 19th, 2019, and I am recording this interview in San Antonio, Texas.
So when the men would ship out to Vietnam, so in this case it was my father, when he was shipped out to Vietnam, so they would send the whole squadrons out, right? And so what they would do is they would move the women, their spouses, to what was called waiting wives camps.
Really?
Yeah, so you could see we're not little white faces, are we? We're kids of color. These are my best friends. We're right. We're kids of color.
Yes.
And so what they would do is they would put the women. They set up what are called waiting wives camps, and they would put them in these rural areas of the U.S. So in this case, this particular waiting wives camps.
Yeah.
So in this case, in rural Salina, in the middle of nowhere. So this camp was Salina, Kansas. At that point was rural. So here you have all these brown-skinned people being brought in. They put us in the school, and it didn't take long before the farm kids started attacking us. So what was happening is we'd go to the bathroom and we'd be greeted in the bathroom by a bunch of kids that were essentially farm kids, and they'd beat us up. So they started beating us up. They N-word, spit, right? All these horrible pejorative, Yeah, and you know that mixing isn't going to occur. And so here this principal's calling us troublemakers because we had a sit-in, right? We wore our red armbands. We got that from the American Indians movement, right? And I remember, because I wasn't aware of racism or sexism at that time, I had lived in integrated communities on bases all my life. But I remember thinking, because I remember the kids screaming at me and calling me racist terms, and here I was, I was this great avid swimmer then. I was winning swim competitions, and here are my two friends. They were both athletic, and I was like, wait a minute. I had enough awareness to say, why are they so afraid of me? Like, what is it they don't like about me? I'm doing well in school, I'm athletic, and my dad is in the war fighting for them. And so the irony of, here are all these farm kids, and it wasn't their fathers fighting the war, it was our fathers fighting the war, right? But I remember thinking, gosh, there's a war in Vietnam, there's a war in my home. My dad went to Vietnam, and while my dad was away, there was a ceasefire in my home, because he was abusive. And so it was like this, but my consciousness really developed during that time. And so when you said, I want to talk to you about music, I started thinking about that. And I was like, so all the music I was listening to then was about consciousness, developing consciousness, right? Because it resonated so deeply in terms of my personal experiences and what was happening. My awareness growing as an adolescent about, how the world treated people differently. I became aware, and that treatment I became aware is often defined around skin.
You can't bury youth, my friend. Youth grows up.
You can't bury youth.
Could have been me, but instead it was you. So I'll keep doing the work you were doing as if I were too.
And in terms of what they represented and how we had to destroy that, right? Their words were so for young people wanting to speak out, the power of what that means.
Can you tell me where he's gone?